Richards, but he's not in this one today.
Who's the best surfer you've ever seen?
Only one.
Who's the best surfer I've ever seen? I've ever seen up until today. Well, who's number one right now? I think it's Damien. So Damien.
Well, I'd have to say an old guy from Narrabeen named Carl Smith. You'd probably remember him. But I suppose in the more modern era, I'd have to say Curren.
Who is the best surfer in the world in your mind?
You, PT. No, not really. Tom Curren.
Tom Curren.
It'll probably still be Nat Young.
Tom Curren at Rincon. Best surfing I've ever seen. I didn't even want to surf, just wanted to go sit on the beach and watch.
Former two-time world champion. Hawaiian champion.
I get wet for wave watch.
Do pro surfers still soul surf?
Oh, yeah. I always do. Go down and trestle and just surf my butt off.
Oh, definitely. To me, my best times in the circuit has been out of the events, searching with a couple of friends down the coast in whichever country you find yourself. Really good waves. Like in South Africa, we went down, we found waves in Jeffries and stuff, and you didn't have to amp out on every wave. You could just cruise, just go for the tube, whatever you want to do, you know. And it was really neat to feel that and get more into the roots of it.
Oh man, you bet. I'm right into it, you know. I'm going to France on Tuesday, and I'm really looking forward to some of the solo sessions. A couple 100 yards down the beach away from all the pack, you know. There's a lot of good beach breaks down there, and it gets real punchy. And yeah, I love it. I love going for a bit of a soul surf. Some nice juicy waves.
Well, I don't know. There's a little thing up there where you can stand in this homemade wave and take a photo, and I was standing there soul surfing, but I had my shoes on. Does that count?
The women's tour, we only have about 12 contests a year, so we've got plenty of time to get back to the roots of surfing and really enjoy it. And the only reason that I surf professionally is because I love to surf so much, so any excuse and I'm into it.
Do pro surfers still get a chance to go soul surfing a lot?
Yeah, sure, if they want to. Some of the guys don't want to, but I think, you know, any pro surfer can just even go out on any day of the week and just have fun, or take a longboard out and just go play in the ocean. That's really what's at the root of everything, you know. That's what's at the root of surfing in general, and pro surfing is only just a part of surfing.
You know, there's been a lot of talk amongst the professionals that next year's tour is just looking so hectic that they're nearly fatigued just looking at it. And I think there will be a point, though, where the surfers definitely begin to lose that soul surfing, the free surfing that made them really great surfers. It's all the times you spend out there on your own or with some other hot company, practicing and getting good and getting the feel of the ocean. They're the formative years in your life, and now getting taken away from that and just week in, every Monday getting on a 12-hour flight, it's got to detract from a guy's enthusiasm for one thing, and definitely his free surfing time. And I think guys are going to start picking and choosing because they need that soul surfing time.
I don't think you get to go soul surfing too much unless you get away from your contests. If you're on tour and they got a break, you get to go to Jeffries Bay or somewhere and do some stuff like that. But basically, I think everybody does their soul surfing and they take their couple contests off a year. Now everyone's taking 3 off, 4 off, and they're like Tom Curren and everybody else, Tom Curren. And so I guess that's when everybody does a lot of their own free surfing.
And I think it's almost divided. The guys that are very serious about their careers, I think, forsake soul surfing. The guys like Curren that have accomplished what everybody else wants to can probably relax a little bit and do some soul surfing. Personally, I've evolved from an era where soul surfing was the main goal, and so I kind of relate to that end more than the competitive end.
What's the best thing about being a pro surfer?
Every pro surfer likes to surf so much, and to be able to travel around and do it is kind of a dream come true. So I'd say that's the best thing. And you know, we're lucky enough. Surfing is such a young sport, and a lot of the guys, including myself, didn't realize that, 10 years ago you could really make a good living at pro surfing. So it's just, right now it's kind of a realization of a dream just to be able to do that for a living.
There's nothing that's nothing bad about it, It's the perfect way to spend your younger years. I've been around the world about 4 times now, and there's not many 22-year-olds who have done that. And I've made a lot of good friends, and I've got friends all over the world. And just being able to surf the best waves in the world and get paid for it—that's the ultimate.
Well, it gives you the opportunity to meet a lot of nice people around the world, see beautiful countries, and just have a good lifestyle, a good clean lifestyle. I was brought up in a pretty poor town in Wollongong, like a housing commission set up, and I think surfing's helped me out a lot, because I go back now and I see some of my friends still hanging home, getting drunk every day and using drugs. So it's pulled me out of that area, and I'm having a really good lifestyle.
I think the best thing about being a pro surfer is being able to just surf for your money and be by the beach all the time and stay healthy and be in the ocean all the time.
One of the best things is getting to travel all the places around the world, surfing all the great surf. That's got to be the best for me.
You get to travel everywhere and go places like Hawaii and Western Australia and things like that, and you get to surf a lot of fantastic waves. We surf a lot of small waves and junk surf too, but those moments when we get to go to like Jeffreys Bay in South Africa and things like that's the best thing about being a pro, is getting somewhere like Jeffreys Bay good.
I would say not having to go to an office and getting to do what I love to do all the time and travel the world.
What's the best thing about being a pro surfer?
Not working in a 9-to-5 situation and doing what you love.
The waves sometimes. The waves are good and they're bad, but some places like Margaret River, you can't beat them. It's just incredible.
Well, you really do have a pretty good life. A lot of times, I sit around getting depressed about there's not enough contests, not enough money, but I'm not working in an office job. I'm doing, I think, about the best sport that you can do, because you can do it anytime, anywhere. If you're on the coast by yourself, pick up your board and you're in the water, and it's instant gratification.
Besides the traveling, I really enjoy the traveling, getting paid to surf, doing something you love to do.
I think it's just the liberty you have to, while you're surfing hard and while you're getting results, you're the king. You can do what you want. If you don't want to go here, you just say, I don't want to go there. But, it means just total free. You're free to make your own decisions. It means being a really focused athlete. It means being on the tour a long time on the road, and it can be a lonely place. But it really was a lifestyle for me and yourself, and I think it's a great part in a man's life.
What do you think's the worst thing about pro surfing?
I think the loneliness and the aeroplanes. Just those airports and airplanes and queues and revalidation stickers. You have them up to here.
When it comes right down to it, just to be able to go is good enough, and that outweighs all the bad side effects from air travel and airports and all that. So that's really minor.
About the only thing is carting 3 surfboards around the world. It'd be great if you could just fold them up and put them in a little suitcase, but you got the big packages and stuff, and that's one of the things we got to put up with.
Well, the worst thing is probably losing your first round heats for about 1 or 2 is all right. You start getting 3 or 4 or 5, and you start just really wigging out and stressing out, and it kind of really hurts coming into your 6th one or 7th one not winning, So basically losing your first round heat has got to be the worst for me.
What's the worst thing about being a pro surfer?
Losing. Worst thing. Getting to the contest and finding out there are waves the week before and it's flat there.
The worst thing is all the international flights and layovers and airports and all that kind of stuff. That's probably the downside of it, but other than that, it's really a lot of fun.
What do you think's the worst thing about being a pro surfer?
Living out of a suitcase, flying for half my life, and losing.
So I think waiting for waves is about the worst thing. You're banking on nature so much, but that's the thing that makes it so great too. So when it all lines up and it's perfect, you really do win on a lot of counts. And another thing is that it can be totally crappy out there and you can have a ball. So, who knows?
What's the worst thing about being a pro surfer?
Jet lag. Definitely jet lag.
Lugging like 150-pound bags around with huge boards, wetsuits, suitcase, and just going through customs and jet lag. That's probably it.
The worst thing about being a pro surfer is, well, losing a heat, which depending on, you know, sometimes depending on how seriously you take it, it can be a bit of a bummer, but, you know, really, the travelling can be a drag, and as far as I'm concerned, the current situation with the ASP is a bit ridiculous with having 5 million events on, and you don't even get a break, and you have no time to get your surfboards organised or get your fitness happening, and to me that's detrimental to surfing because I feel that it's holding the standard of surfing back.
I'd say the worst thing is competing in horrible ways and being away from my husband for so long.
What's the best thing about pro surfing?
The best thing is probably that it perpetuates an industry that provides us all a lifestyle.
What's the worst thing?
Contests in flat conditions.
Well, that's been it for another episode of Wave Watch from Huntington Beach here at the OP Pro. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back with another great show real soon.
We heard that Wave Watch was here today, and we really wanted a picture with Mark Lupa, so we're here. And we're ready for the picture.
What's been the toughest thing that's ever happened to you on this job?
Well, I think it was second or third year. Around 7 or 8 little 5-year-old kids just happened to come up behind me and beat the hell out of me.
Tom Curren is sexy. They're both very sexy. Tom Curren.
Who do you guys want to be when you grow up?
Tom Curren's wife. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Wave Watch?
No.
Have you ever seen The Tonight Show?
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be on it.
Wave Watch, it's hot move.
Wave Watch, keep it coming.
Hi, Mom. I'm sitting here with Katie Crum from OP, and she's an important person because she lets people in and out of the competitors area. Who's giving you the best story about they need to see somebody in there today?
Well, these 4 young girls came up and said they were the charter member of the Stuart Bedford Brown Fan Club, and they had to get in the gate to see him.
Did you let them in?
Of course not.
Being a girl on the Pro Tour, what's the romantic life? You know, you're traveling all the time. Is it hard to keep a boyfriend or have some sort of romantic attachment?
Oh, it's romantic life on the tour. It stinks, I tell you. I'm married to my surfboard at the moment. God.
Come on, come on.
This episode of Wave Watch, partially funded by Sean Collins Wave Track and by Ocean Pacific.